Welcome in, guys, to a brand new scout report. Today I thought I'll get back to talking about the wide receiver class, and today we're scouting Denzel Boston. He's a wide receiver from Washington State. Washington State. Games I saw him on tape were Webster State, Eastern Michigan, Northwestern, Rutgers, Michigan, Iowa, Indiana, USC, Penn State, UCLA, Oregon, Colorado State, UC Davis, Maryland, Illinois, Wisconsin, Boise State. So we'll talk about really like the strengths. Talk about his strengths. Now, if you look at Denzel, if you've ever seen Denzel Boston on tape, the one thing you'll see is that he's built. His built and his physique is built kind of more like a X receiver, and he's more like you can put him like a 6 or a 4. And again, he's got a great long arm. He knows how to use every inch of his frame, and for him to wall off the corner and put balls from outside of his body. And then another thing that you can see on his tape is he gets up to the speed quicker and carries it through routes, and without any wasted steps. So again, a lot of times, a lot of the receivers they get up to speed, and then sometimes they'll waste some steps. Sometimes with doing route, but again with Denzel Boston, you're not seeing that. Also, what I would like to tape put down here is that. He's great at deep balls. He's great deep balls. He can track it over his shoulder, like kind of like center field adjustment, and then he goes back to shoulders. And again, he's probably one of the best so far I've seen of like the wide receiver class. His last 2 years in Washington State, he had 20 touchdowns, like 2025, 2020, 24, 25, 20 touchdowns coming in the end zone. So again, really crucial in that end zone. Double digits, and again, he's great at outside of the slant. Again, he's got great hand grip as well. He can get physical with the defense. And he's great at catch point. He can break the routes, and then he puts his body between like the ball and the defender. He's really you wouldn't want to have to defend him for a game, because he is just so lethal when it comes to especially being offensive. He's just the guy you wouldn't want to you don't want to play against him. You want him on your team, but damn, you won't want to play against him. He's just he's just going at the defense constantly. And then he's again got great arms. Again, he's going to block the blockers, and then seal off the corners, and then do what he does in the end zone. Kind of weaknesses that I kind of seen on his tape were. He needs to work on it. He's too straight. He's too straight line, and he needs to work on his press corner. Like again, if he's like too straight up in the line, a lot of the elite defenses will eat him up alive, and he's gonna have to need more moves off the line than just like just playing one dimensional. Again, can be an outside release. He can win possessing length and more flat out speed when the ball goes deep. Again, sometimes his numbers have dipped sometimes on like better corner schemes, especially like against Ohio State and Oregon, where he didn't. Especially when you look at Oregon and Ohio State, never really his best games. Not making anyone miss after the catch. Again, he gets his yardage for the contact, but again, he feels sometimes go forward. Again, ultimately, Denzel Boston, he is definitely, I think, one of those guys who was a top 10 pick. like a top day one pick. He's one of the wide receivers that I've watched him on tape, and I feel like he's the guy that could do something here. There's not been many wide receivers in this class that I've been really truly impressed with. Malachi Lemon was one of them a few weeks ago, and then especially I've looked at Denzel Washington's tape. He's definitely a guy that you would absolutely want to have on your team. I definitely see him being high in this draft, especially because again people on other mods. I've got Carnell, I've got Jason Tate, Jordan Tyson on their draft board early on, and I'm like this, even myself, and then I watched him and then I saw he had the injury record. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna put up for me. And so far, Denzel Boston doesn't have the injury record. He's been healthy he's been really productive for 2 years. He's got fantastic numbers, 20 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons in the end zone. Again, he's been super productive, and I think he's definitely gonna be one of these guys that you look at out of a really weak draft class, especially a weak wide receiver class, to be honest. And you look at Malachi Lemon as one, and then Denzel Boston as another. It's hard to really look at anybody else. Maybe I could Carnell Tate as well. So you're probably looking at 3 probably good wide receivers in this class. Carnell Tate, Denzel Boston, and then you look Denzel Boston, Carnell Tate, and then you're looking at Malachi Lemon. There's 3 kind of what stick out to me that could be really good. I think a lot of the other wide receivers are just kind of there, very day 2-ish, day 3, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. They're not really sticking out, but when I've seen the 3 I just mentioned, I'm a big fan of them both, all 3 of the guys, and I think they do have a high ceiling that they could go somewhere. But again, you've got to hopefully, get coach things out of them. But yeah, leave you guys thoughts if you've seen Denzel Boston in the comments. Hype up the video, guys. Woo! Hype that video, guys. Subscribe and all that shit. And I'll be back soon. Bye, guys.